All right, come to a comfortable seat. And with your comfortable seat, as per usual, shift and move around a little bit to make it more comfortable. So I always sit up on something, but just make sure, little movement side to side, moving sitting bones. Make sure that you have your best connection with sitting bones and what you're sitting on, and that you have a little bit of comfort or ease in your seat. And then allow for a little movement through your pelvis, a little tilt forward and back. That checking in with that second chakra area, the sacral area. And then allow your belly to tilt a little bit forward as you lengthen your spine, lengthen the back of your neck. Hands rest where it's comfortable. Close your eyes and take a couple big deep breaths here, starting to tune into an inhale and exhale in and out of your nose. Now, in particular, start to notice the 3 parts expanding with your breath. Inhaling to expand your belly, your ribs, your chest. Exhaling to release back through chest, ribs, belly. Inhale to expand and lift. Exhale to release back through and to engage the low belly. Inhale to expand. Exhale to release and engage. One more time this way. Full, long, deep inhale. Long, full exhale. Then relax this breath, bring hands to connect at heart center. Take a deep inhale. And exhale, bow towards your heart. Softly opening your eyes, release your hands down, and then walk your hands out to your knees. Move through just a couple rounds of cat and cow here. Inhaling to expand and open through your front. Exhaling to round and expand into your back. Inhale, belly and heart forward. Exhale, press your spine back. 2 more breaths this way, finding that movement through the spine. Then inhale, sit tall. Exhale, low ribs draw back. Inhale, circle your ribs around to the left side, all the way around the front, and exhale back on the right. Inhale, circle around to the left. Exhale, draw back on the right. One more time in this direction. Then inhale, circle around to the right, and exhale back on the left. Inhale, circle around, and exhale, draw back. One more full breath on this side. Full inhale, long, deep exhale. Then inhale, sit tall. Switch the cross of your legs, coming to the less comfortable cross for yourself. Move your sitting bones. Hands come to your upper thighs. Give a little press down on your upper thighs and do that tilting of your pelvis forward and back again. And as you find that tilt of your pelvis forward and back, notice any places that feel stuck or stiff or difficult, or notice if you've got some good fluid motion happening here through the pelvis. Take another big deep breath. And then as you come back into center, now we will expand and open through the heart just a little bit more. So take hands behind to clasp, press palms together, lift your shoulders up and back. And as you lift and open up through the heart, also engage the low belly and the low ribs, supporting the back body in this opening. Take a big deep breath. And now releasing your hands, take arms out to cactus and then cross. Left elbow over your right. You can come to eagle arms here or a hug, whichever feels the best. But we're going to move a little bit with breath. So start by lifting elbows to shoulder height. Draw shoulder blades in onto your back. And then inhale, lift up through your heart. Exhale, round in through your upper back. Your chin tucks in. Inhale, lift up. and exhale, round in. One more this way, full inhale, long, deep exhale. Inhale back up to a neutral place, arms out to cactus. Push back with your elbows, back with your hands, feel your shoulder blades engage, and then cross right, left, switch it, right elbow over left. Whew. Okay. All right. Eagle arms, hugs, whatever version of this feels the best in your body. Lift your elbows up to shoulder height and draw shoulder blades onto your back. Then we'll move. Inhale, lift your heart up. Exhale, round in, expand to the upper back. Inhale and exhale. One more big breath. Inhale, sit tall, release your arms. And now hands out in front to clasp, pull forward with your arms, round back through your spine. Chin tucks in, and then add big, exaggerated movements here, side to side with your shoulders. Letting your lats get a little added stretch. Feel that pulling in action of your low ribs. Inhale, sit tall. Now shift forward onto hands and knees. And from hands and knees, we'll do a little bit of movement. So if you need to, you can add a little cushion underneath your knees with a blanket. But set yourself up, wrists under shoulders, knees under hips. Rotate elbow pits forward and push, expanding into the upper back. Keep your head lifted. Now, as you tilt your sitting bones up, your belly drops a little down. Engage glutes, hug them in. Engage the low belly, engage the low ribs. Engaging around the core. Inhale, reach your right leg back behind you. Left arm forward, keep the core engaged. Take a full deep breath. And now exhale, elbow and knee come to connect or toward connecting. Engage the low ribs. Inhale, extend long. Exhale, elbow and knee connect. Inhale, extend long. Exhale, elbow and knee connect. Inhale, extend long. Exhale, your hand back down. Push into the ground with both hands. Turn open with your right hip. Bend your right knee and press your heel toward the left side. Long through your right thigh. Engage the low belly. And exhale, set both knees back on the ground. Pause for a full round of cat and cow. And as you move, re-engage palms and fingertips pressing into the ground. Then come back to that neutral place for your spine. Remember, elbow pits are turning forward. Push and expand into the upper back. Tilt sitting bones up and engage low glutes, low belly, low ribs. Inhale, left leg reaches back, right arm reaches forward. Pause. Keep toned around the core. Keep pushing with your left hand to expand into the upper back. Exhale, elbow and knee connect, low ribs lift. Inhale, extend, keep engaged around the core. Exhale, elbow and knee connect. Inhale, reach it out. Exhale to connect. Inhale to reach it out. We've got one more. Exhale and inhale. Set your hand down. Push with both hands. Engage around the core. Turn open with your left hip. Bend your knee. Press your heel toward the right side. Even as you reach through your thigh, keep your low belly engaged. Big breath. Next, exhale. Both knees come back to the ground. Big toes together, knees wide here if that's comfortable. Settle hips back toward your heels as far as is comfortable in your body. Let your head rest down on something, whether it's a block, the floor, stacked fists. Deep breath. Then inhale, rise back up to hands and knees. Rotate elbow pits forward and push. Tuck toes under and lift hips up and back. Downward facing dog pose. Take a full, big, deep breath. Stay rotating with your upper arm bones so elbow pits are trying to turn forward. push from your lats out through your hands. Bend your knees and send your sitting bones further up. And then walk your way forward, coming into your forward fold at the front of your mat. Take an inhale and lengthen part way. Exhale and fold over your legs. Inhale, lengthen part way, hands above your knees. Lift and spread your toes here and then root them down. Root down through your heels as well. You might feel your glutes fire up when you do that. And then walk your hands up your legs, coming all the way up to a tall spine. And from this place, turn palms forward, opening up through the chest. Feel shoulder blades engage onto your back. And then take ear to shoulder a couple of times. Back into center now. Inhale, stretch up overhead. Exhale, bent knees to fold over your legs. Inhale, lengthen part way. Exhale and fold. Now find whatever you're using for blocks and bring your hands up to your blocks so your wrists are stacked underneath your shoulders. And from this place, we're going to add more of that hip action, hip opening in. So find your weight shifted over to your left foot and lift your right leg up behind you. Think of keeping your toes turned down the whole time. So your outer right hip is dropping down. Take a big deep breath here. Press your left thigh back, making more space on the left side. Keep that, turn open with your hip, turning your right hip up, like we did on hands and knees here. Exhale, hips back to center. And inhale, open it up. Exhale to center. Inhale, open it up. Exhale to center. We'll do this one more time. Inhale, open it up, and pause. Keep pressing back with your left thigh. Bend your right knee, press your heel toward the left side. Take a deep breath, reach through your thigh. Exhale, hips back to center. Your foot comes back to the ground. Pause, take a couple of breaths here, lengthening your heart forward, sending sitting bones up. Then your weight shifts over to your right foot. Start to lift your left leg behind you, rotating toes down, your hips to center. Press back with your right hip. Keep your right hip pressing back even as you inhale and turn up with your left. Exhale, hips to center. Inhale, turn open. Exhale to center. Inhale, open up. Exhale to center. One more time. Inhale, open it up, bend your knee, press your heel toward the right side. Long reach through your thigh. Keep pressing back with your right hip. Extend your heart further forward. Then back to center with your hips and set both feet down. Take an inhale, lengthen part way. Exhale and fold over your legs. Bring fingertips to your blocks or the floor. Step right foot back into your lunge. Right knee comes to the ground. And inhale, stretch up, coming to this lifted version of your lunge. Take a big deep breath. Center with your hips. Tone low belly, low ribs. Full breath. Exhaling, both hands come back to your blocks or the floor. Walk them to the inside. We've been to our alligator or lizard pose quite a bit over the last few weeks. So take a moment to push down with your back knee. And then take another moment to notice if you'd like to add a little more work and lift your back knee up if you so choose. Work down toward one elbow, maybe two, and then notice left big toe mound pushing down, left glute wrapping back. Big, deep inhale and exhale in and out of your nose. And then come back to your hands, walking them back to center. Step all the way back to a downward facing dog pose. Take a big breath. From your down dog, if down dog is a lot today, then maybe bring your knees down to rest. You're welcome to bring knees down and then rise back up. Just take a moment to find what works the best in your body for a few deep breaths. And now inhale, lift your right leg to the sky. And again, this can be done on your hands and knees. Exhale, draw your knee in toward your nose, letting your shoulders come forward. Inhale, stretch back. Exhale, turn open with your hip. And now draw your right knee toward your right elbow. Inhale, stretch back. Exhale, cross your knee through toward your left elbow. Inhale, stretch back. Exhale, step right foot forward in between your hands. You can always use blocks to help you get there. We'll bring our back knee down anyway, so that helps too. So inhale, stretch up, coming to that lifted lunge. Center with your hips, tone, low belly, low ribs, engaging around the core. Big breath. Exhaling, both hands come down to the front of your mat. Work your hands to the inside. And again, if you'd like to add a little more work here for yourself, you can lift your back knee up, okay? Otherwise, keep your spine long, even as you settle one elbow down, maybe two elbows down. Take a deep breath. If your knee is down, push down with it so you're not sinking into your hips. If your knee is lifted, push with your back toes and lift your right hip a little bit more. Full big breath. Then rise back to your hands and we'll settle back on hands and knees or downward facing dog pose to do that little bit of core work on the second side. So rotate elbow pits forward and push. Bend your knees, send your sitting bones up. Take a full breath. Then inhale, lift your left leg. And exhale, draw knee toward your nose. Inhale, lift your left leg. Turn open with your hip. Exhale, knee toward the outside of your left elbow. Inhale, stretch back. Exhale, crossing your knee through toward your right elbow. Inhale, stretch back. Exhale, foot down, knees down, hips to heels. Take a child's pose. Move a little bit through your hips. Inch your fingertips forward. Take a big, deep, long, sighing breath this time. Inhale through the nose, exhale through the mouth. One more deep breath here. Then inhale, push yourself up to your seat. And you're gonna come all the way down to sitting bones. And now, right foot extends, left foot into the side of your leg. You can always give your left knee a little prop here. Turn your torso so you're facing your right foot. And engage your left pinky toe edge into the ground, letting your ankle lift a little bit. Press down the fingertips, lift your heart. As you exhale, long spine. Hinge from the hips. Walk your hands as close toward your right foot as your body is ready for. Turning your low ribs a little bit more to the right. Take a big breath. And inhale, rise back up and extend left leg forward, right foot into the side of your leg. Again, feel free to add a prop here. Feel free to sit up on something here if that feels best. Move your sitting bones and engage both feet. In particular, right pinky toe edge presses down, ankle lifts. Lift your ribs, your heart, your chest. Turn your belly towards your left foot. Stay long through your spine as you fold. Find where that is for you today. Maybe that's staying more upright. Maybe that's reaching for your toes. Just remember, reaching your toes is not the goal of this pose or any pose really. Take a big deep breath. The Goal is to find some length through the spine, even as you find that stretch, the length through the back body. Hamstring connections are solid and safe. Inhale, rise back up. And now as you reach both legs forward, we're gonna walk our feet in a tiny bit so you have more of a bend to your knees, flex to your feet. Press fingertips beside your hips and tilt your belly more toward your legs. Lift your ribs high, heart high, and then as you fold toward your feet, you can hold on where it feels the best, where you can stay tilted forward with your pelvis. And if you find you have a little more space in this pose, maybe you inch your feet out to more of a straight leg place. If your legs are totally straight, give them a little micro bend. Take a big, deep inhale and tilt your belly more forward, lengthen your spine. Exhale, maybe fold a little bit deeper. Then inhale, gently rise all the way back up. Bend your knees, and we're gonna make our way all the way onto our backs. And from your back, hug knees in close, rock side to side. Our usual way of allowing our back body to lengthen a little bit, find a little more release. And now footprints to the ground, take your hands to your upper thighs and give a push so much that your pelvis is tilting, your belly is moving more upward and forward, your low back is lifting. You're gonna keep that lift through the low back, but engage low belly, low ribs. So low ribs move more toward the ground, low belly pulls in without tilting your pelvis the other way, so you still have that space behind your back. So we get to try to remember that action of a lumbar curve and low ribs pulling in. Lift your legs up toward your body, cross left leg over your right. And you might wrap your toes all the way around your calf, or you might just cross at the thighs. That's okay too. Pause here and re-tilt your pelvis so that your low back is lifting. Engage your low ribs into the ground. Now arms to cactus and cross right elbow over your left. You can take hugs here or eagle arms, wrapping your fingers over your palm. But now, as you find that natural curve to the low back where there's a little lift and the low ribs drawing in, we're gonna exhale and draw elbows toward our knees. Inhale, release back down with your head. Exhale, elbows toward your knees. Inhale, release, and exhale, elbows toward your knees. So as you do this 3 more times, what I want you to think about is still trying to keep that tilt of your pelvis so your low back is lifting. That's awfully hard here when we crunch. 1 more, full big breath. And then releasing arms, releasing legs. Walk feet out wider than your mat and drop knees side to side, taking some windshield wipers. And now back into center. Pause for a moment and re-tilt the pelvis so that you have that lift. Engage the low belly, engage the low ribs so they're drawing toward the ground. And then lift your legs up. Try to keep that curve. That is a hard thing when you lift your legs. Now, cross right leg over the left. And again, you can just cross at the thighs or you can wrap your toes if you have a little bit more space, okay? From that place, double check the curves to your spine and engage the core. And then arms to a cactus. And now left elbow over the right to either take palms or take a hug, either one. Exhale, elbows draw toward your knees. Inhale, release. Exhale, elbows toward your knees. Inhale, release. Exhale. You have 3 more at your own pace with your own breath, trying to keep that curve to the low back especially. The low ribs pulling in are easy with this. Lumbar curve is hard. And then release. Walk feet wider than your mat. 1 more time, dropping knees side to side. And now back into center, and you get to choose what would feel the best for a resting pose for you, and start to work yourself into that position. Not quite done as far as some breath focus, but you can start to set yourself up. So feel free to set your legs over a prop, maybe set blocks underneath knees in a butterfly, maybe a blanket over you for a little more grounding. And then if it's in your practice, you can open arms up to a cactus or to a T, whichever feels the best. Palms are facing the ceiling. Take a couple big breaths, and I want you to notice the curves to your spine. So as you inhale, expand your belly and your low back muscles toward the ground. As you exhale, release them. Notice that space behind your low back. Inhale, expand your front and your back. And exhale, release. Noticing that space. Inhale, expand. And exhale, release. And now inhale, feel belly, ribs, and chest expand. Exhale, release, chest, ribs, belly. One more time for this 3-part breath. Full inhale. And exhale. And now you can set yourself up into the most comfortable place for you, releasing your arms into whatever variation is best for your body. Shavasana. Begin to take a deeper breath. Add a little gentle movement into fingers and into toes. And as you bend your knees, roll over to one side, pausing on your side for a moment just to allow a full breath. And then slowly push yourself up to your seat. And from your seat, connect hands together at your heart, eyes closed. Take a moment for a full breath. Have a very peaceful and beautiful day. Namaste. Thanks, everybody.